2FM093 Filmic Fantasy is a sweeping orchestral album for fantasy, documentaries, and history. It's written by Paul Cohen.
This album contains the winning track from the VSL Composer Contest that Vienna Symphonic Library ran this year to celebrate their 20-year anniversary.
Majestic Kingdom takes us on a noble and uplifting journey. The orchestra gradually builds in layers from village street corners and personal characters to regal castles and sweeping landscapes.
This album came about from a conversation I had when I happened to be conducting in Vienna at one time, and they mentioned that they had an idea they'd like to collaborate with a production music company to produce an album to celebrate their 20-year anniversary. And Herb was very keen initially that he wanted a new composer to be given a chance to record with the Synchron Orchestra at Synchron Stage, somebody who probably hadn't really had a chance to do this sort of thing before.
It's hard to tell if it's in a major or minor. I like how it has that little bit of mystery behind it, so it could be used for even some more serious things, not just uplifting, positive. As the track developed, I could easily see it being used for epic sporting events or documentaries, especially anything about overcoming obstacles or anything that's a little more multifaceted.
We got nearly 1,000 applications to start, then we had to listen to those. In terms of the actual final, where we got down to the last three competitors, obviously the semi-final there were 12, we got down after a lot of discussion, but we did narrow it down to the three. So let's just move on and chat about the actual winner. Now, of course, it's easy to think, oh, we have a winner, that's the end of it. But of course it isn't, because not only did Paul have to write another 5 tracks, they all had to be orchestrated, we had to do all the music preparation, the parts all had to be printed, we had to record and all that. We had Paul's face on the huge, gigantic screen. It was great that we, even though he wasn't there in person, we felt that he was part of it.
Absolutely, yeah.
Clash of Swords is a dramatic and perilous track, executed by gutsy brass, visceral percussion, and frantic strings. I contrasted marching rhythms with agitated melodies and splashes of chaos to invoke a sense of foreboding and dread.
So this track is built around quite a short motif. How did you keep things interesting?
I almost structured that first theme in its own little mini form, so I had kind of 2 A sections with a B at the end, so that kind of helped break it up a little bit. Definitely instrumental layering as it goes on, adding more and more and more and more brass. Adventure Awaits is a fun jaunt with humble roots and grand aspirations. The solo fiddle introduces playful folk melodies that tumble into swashbuckling excitement.
So could you talk us through a little bit more about how you use some of those folk influences?
I was definitely inspired by fiddle tunes where there's an A section and a B section, and they go back and forth between them.
I think it was really nice sessions, and I think that the orchestra sort of felt there was something special about those recordings.
And Paul did a wonderful job of communicating with me behind the lines as well, so that I could help produce, and any of his thoughts that I feel like we hadn't covered, he was very efficient in relaying that message to me.
How else do you see this track being used?
Along with the fantasy world, could definitely see it for nature documentaries, historical shows, anything that just needs some kind of energetic, positive, uplifting feel to it.
was it like hearing your music being played by the Synchron Orchestra for the first time?
Oh my goodness, it was so surreal. I just had a big silly smile on my face the whole time.
It was all turned around in a day. It was a little bit tight for time because there's obviously a lot to get done.
And I would say I'm quite pedantic as a producer as well. We sort of went right up to the wire on some of the things, but I'm so happy with them.
Yeah.